Have you ever wondered, are there any other pandemics or outbreaks around the world like the coronavirus disease 2019? Welcome to Shows. This is past pandemics like the coronavirus disease 2019. The Spanish flu. The Spanish flu, or the 1918 flu pandemic, was caused by the H1N1 virus, which is a subtype of the influenza A virus. Although the exact origin of it remains a mystery, sources say that the health professionals in U.S. military detected an H1N1 virus in the military personnel, and this was the first known case that was reported at a military base in Kansas on March 11, 1918. This outbreak lasted from January 1918 to December 1920, for almost a period of 2 years. Studies say that this virus has infected an estimated 500 million people, which was about 1/3 of the world's population. Approximately 50 million people died worldwide due to this disease. The virulence of the virus is also a cause to the high mortality rate of the Spanish flu, but as in 1918, people lived in close quarters and perhaps could not follow the social distancing like we do now. Spain remained neutral during World War, and thus the Spanish media was free to report on it in gory detail, such as the illness of King Alfonso, and these stories created a false impression on Spain that it was most affected, which gave rise to the name the Spanish flu. The Asian flu. Following the Spanish flu, the Asian flu, also known as the 1957 to 1958 influenza pandemic, spread out throughout the world. This disease was caused by influenza A virus subtype H2N2, and that is said to be originated in Wuhan, China. In the beginning months of the 1957 flu pandemic, the virus outbreak spread throughout China and its surrounding regions. It reached the United States by the midsummer, but the affected cases there were comparatively lower. However, several months later, numerous cases were reported. This increase in cases in the second pandemic wave spread across the Northern Hemisphere in November 1957. At that time, the United Kingdom was also majorly affected by the pandemic. Reports say that this virus had killed at least 1 million people worldwide. However, the immediate development of a vaccine against the H2N2 virus limited the spread and mortality of the pandemic. The Hong Kong flu. Caused by an H3N2 strain of the influenza A virus, which is descended from H2N2. The Hong Kong flu, which is also known as the 1968 flu pandemic outbreak in 1968 and 1969. Although it resulted in comparatively few deaths worldwide, this virus was highly contagious. Within 2 weeks of its origin in July in Hong Kong, 500,000 cases of illness was reported. The virus then spread across Southeast Asia. After several months, it reached the United States. By the end of December, there were numerous cases throughout the United States and had reached the United Kingdom and also affected several other countries in the world. The pandemic also occurred in 2 waves like others, and the second wave caused a greater damage than the first wave. A vaccine was developed against the virus, but it came to use only after the pandemic had peaked in several countries worldwide. A notable fact is that the H3N2 virus that caused this pandemic is still in circulation today, and now it is considered to be a strain of seasonal influenza. SARS outbreak. Severe acute respiratory syndrome SARS was the first pandemic in the 21st century. The outbreak began in 2002 and lasted till 2004. Like coronavirus disease 2019, SARS was also due to a coronavirus, called as SARS-CoV. SARS-CoV began in bats and moved into civets before it affected humans. The outbreak was first identified in Foshan, Guangdong, China, on November 16, 2002. Globally, SARS infected an estimated 8,000 people in 29 countries and caused death of about 800 people approximately. Swine flu pandemic. The swine flu pandemic was an influenza pandemic caused by the novel influenza A H1N1 virus. This virus was named as the influenza A pandemic H1N1 2009 virus. It lasted for about 19 months, from January 2009 to August 2010. This virus disease was referred to as swine flu, because laboratory testing displayed that the gene segments were alike the influenza viruses that were identified in pigs and known to circulate among them. Like the coronavirus disease 2019, the pandemic H1N1 2009 virus was also significantly distinct from other strains. This shows that most people didn't have natural immune power to fight against the virus. Although the lab-confirmed deaths as reported to WHO marks about 18,449, the swine flu pandemic is estimated to have actually caused about 284,000 deaths, as many patients were generally not tested. By November 2009, vaccines were developed to protect against the pandemic H1N1 2009 virus. Hope you got to know about some facts from the past pandemic. Stay connected to stay updated.